Hey there, everyone. We are coming to you live from the NEDAS 2018 New York City Summit here at beautiful Times Square Convene. My name is Steve Multer. I'm here with Victoria Lamberth, co-founder and COO of ZenFi Networks. Thank you for taking time to talk with us today.
Thanks, Steve.
This is really fun, right?
Yeah, this is great. Thanks for having me.
Sure. All right, so ZenFi Networks, they are a communications infrastructure provider locally based and operated right here in New York City. ZenFi is focused on space, you're focused on power, connectivity, really meeting the needs of users and customers right here in the metro city of New York area. You also just announced a great new merger with Cross River Fiber. You're providing over 700 miles of fiber network. You've got 6,000 nodes under contract today. Over 2,000 of those are already built today, so congratulations on that. And you're expanding really into the service provider and carrier space now too. So I love what it is that you guys are doing with ZenFi Networks. I kind of want to start with the obvious. A lot of fiber providers out there in the industry today. What is unique about you and about ZenFi Networks and what you're doing in this fiber provider space?
Sure, it's a great question, and it's a question we get asked all the time. You know, people often say fiber is fiber, there's plenty of fiber in the city. What makes you unique and different? And in a certain way, they're right. Fiber is fiber, you can use it for all different purposes. But when it comes to delivering connectivity in a 5G world and delivering connectivity specifically to outdoor wireless nodes, the networks that you need to build are high capacity networks that are accessible everywhere. We've been in the business of building and operating fiber optic networks for over 30 years. In fact, our sister company, Hugh O'Kane Electric, is a third generation owned and operated company here in the city, building networks for others. And so when we started ZenFi in 2013, we knew how the legacy fiber networks were built. They were built to serve the enterprise customer, highly resilient, high capacity networks that were in between large enterprise buildings and data center spaces. Great for that type of application, but not great when you have to put a node on every single intersection in Manhattan. And you know, as a little data point, we like to say there are over 3,000 intersections in Manhattan, and we've got a requirement to hit 2,600 of them with 2 pairs of fiber to nodes on each of them. So that's a huge architectural challenge. What we've found necessary in this space is a need to build a new type of fiber optic network. A network that can be accessible in every single manhole that it traverses. It's a front haul fiber infrastructure. It's built in a similar architecture to the traditional cable networks where you've got a hub, tree going out to hitting nodes, and those hubs ring together with a traditional backhaul network. So the network we've built in New York is that front haul network architecture with the core backhaul behind it, and it's really purpose built to solve the densification in this space.
And you bring up exactly where I wanted to go next, because I wanted to talk about your customer. This is really a unique challenge within a metro environment the size of New York City. So you're here to serve this local ecosystem, but within that framework, what challenges are you hearing about directly from your customers as they try to tackle and try to get connected to what it is you're discussing?
Sure, and that's exactly right. I mean, this solution that we've created really was created around the mobile network operator and around their need to densify their networks. At a macro level, we see our carrier customers as requiring spectral reuse on their networks and really the need to add capacity. In a metro environment like New York, it's not a coverage issue, it's a capacity issue. So what does that mean? It means adding additional nodes across the network and delivering fiber to those nodes. In terms of specific challenges that we're seeing for our carrier operators, there are 3 main ones. Siting is the first, time to market, and cost. So you take a city like New York, which has a great forum and a great process for getting sites reserved throughout the city, but they're still limited in the number of sites available. So in the city of New York, you have to be a franchise holder in order to install telecommunications equipment on poles. There's a limit at intersections to have 2 poles that can have wireless equipment attached to it. So you got to think if you're coming in and there's already a carrier on 2 of those poles, well, all of a sudden you can't use that intersection, and where are you going to go place your equipment?
Sure.
That's a main challenge, siting. Within siting, you also have a challenge with the form factor of what you're able to put up on the poles. So even as a neutral host, you're somewhat limited in the amount of carriers you'd be able to serve, even if you are able to reserve that 1 pole. So you've got a siting challenge here in the city. Once you solve that siting challenge, you still have a time to market issue. So if you do find a location, a pole, smart street furniture, the like that works for you, you're talking about 6 months to a year to deploy between permitting, constructing. We're finding on average DOT poles, it's about 6 months start to finish, and utility poles, it's about a year start to finish. Major challenge. And the last one, obviously, that everyone always deals with is cost. And it's the cost to deliver power, it's the cost to deliver fiber in these metro environments. And as a quick stat, I've been actively operating in this industry for a little over 10 years, which, by the way, makes me a novice.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
Which
compared
makes
to some
me
of the people sitting in the other room with the 30 and 40 years behind them.
It does, but in that time, our construction costs have doubled.
Yeah.
And they've doubled.
Especially in a place like New York.
Especially in a place like New York, and they've doubled somewhat because of labor rates increasing, every year, but the real reason they've doubled is because of the congestion within the system. It is just physically harder to install those cables. So it makes it even more important that when you are building a new fiber optic network in a city like New York, you're building it so that you can actually use it and that you can intercept it at various points.
Huge number of challenges, and the red tape of municipality, which we didn't even get into on that.
Right.
So we're here, we're at NEDAS, we're having a great time here at Convene. What is the primary message? If people walk away with the one takeaway from ZenFi Networks and what you want them to understand, what is what we want to deliver today? What is that core?
Yeah, so the real thing is ZenFi Networks is a communications infrastructure provider here in the city. We build a fiber optic network with space, power, and connectivity with the ultimate aim of serving the mobile network operators. Our network was custom built to solve the problem of densification. We are locally owned and operated. Our sister company has been in existence since 1946, so we've got a team of experts behind us building, and I'm really just excited to get the word out, to shake some hands and let people know that there's an alternative provider here in the city that can do some creative things and let us enable you to build out your networks.
Wow, and considering the history, ZenFi Networks showed up at such an incredible time. 2013, what's happened in the last 5 years, it's really remarkable. Congratulations to you, congratulations to the company.
Thank you.
Go out there, get to know ZenFi Networks. Victoria, thank you for taking time to talk. This has been fun. We appreciate you being here today.
Thank you very much. It was great speaking with you.
And thanks to all of you for watching.